In this section, we are going to discuss the anatomy of internal capsule, that's the location of internal capsule, parts of internal capsule, fibers passing through internal capsule, and blood supply. So internal capsule is one of the best examples of projection fibers. So what are projection fibers? Projection fibers are those fibers which project from the cerebral cortex to lower parts of central nervous system. So the best example of these projection fibers that is internal capsule. So it is a part of white matter of the brain. Okay, now let us try to understand it with the help of a diagram that would give us some idea about its location as well. So this is the corpus callosum. This is the part of the cerebrum, cerebral hemispheres. So these are the cerebral hemispheres. Here is the lateral sulcus, and this is the lower part of the cerebral hemisphere, lateral sulcus, and then below this is the brain stem. So this part is the midbrain and the pons. So this is the brain stem, midbrain and pons. Now this is here is the location of fornix, and below fornix is the third ventricle. Third ventricle on each side is surrounded by thalamus. So this structure is thalamus. Now above thalamus there is caudate nucleus. These are part of basal ganglia, and this is the location of lentiform nucleus. So it's a lens-shaped nucleus called as lentiform nucleus. Now so let us label them first. So this is green colored structure is corpus callosum. This part is the caudate nucleus. This is highlighted in black. This is a caudate nucleus. Below caudate nucleus, this lens-shaped nucleus is called as lentiform nucleus. This part is called as thalamus. So there are two thalami, and in middle is the third ventricle. This is the location of lateral ventricle. So these are the two lateral ventricles. Now this here, let me show the gray matter of the cerebral cortex. So this is gray matter of the cerebral cortex. Again on the other side, this part is the pons, this lower bulged part, and the part above pons is the midbrain. So this is the midbrain. Now if we the projection fibers, these project from the cortex. So this is cortex. Some fibers project from the cortex down, and while moving down they condense while passing through these basal ganglia, that's while passing between caudate nucleus, lentiform nucleus and thalamus. These fibers condense, and the condensed structure which is found between caudate nucleus, lentiform nucleus and thalamus, this part is called as the internal capsule, and it continues below to enter into the midbrain, and in the midbrain it forms another structure. So the part where these fibers they come down from the cortex, this part, that is this part is called as corona radiata. So corona radiata is formed when these fibers come down from the cerebral cortex, and when these fibers converge, the part which is present between these nuclei, this is called as internal capsule. So this part is called as the internal capsule, and the part below it which is present in the midbrain, this is called as crest cerebri. So the same fibers form corona radiata, then they form internal capsule, and in the midbrain they form crest cerebri, and then they go down. Basically these are the parts of a descending motor tract which is called as the corticospinal tract. So corticospinal tract, it arises from cortex and goes down to the spinal cord, and in the middle it passes through the internal capsule. So internal capsule does not only contain corticospinal tract, there are some other fibers as well. Now let us try to understand various parts of internal capsule. So if we draw a separate diagram of internal capsule, so it looks somewhat like this. It has a bend. So this on the right side, this is the lentiform. So as you can understand, this is internal capsule of the left side of the brain on the coronal section. So these are the caudate nuclei and the thalamus. So this caudate nucleus, lentiform nucleus and thalamus. And in between these structures is the internal capsule. Now internal capsule, the anterior most part of the internal capsule is called as anterior limb. So this part of the internal capsule is the anterior limb, and similarly we have posterior limb of the internal capsule, which is present posteriorly between thalamus and lentiform nucleus. Now the part which is present in between these two parts is in the form of a bend. It is called as genu. So the word genu literally means bend. So this part is called as genu. Now there are some other parts of internal capsule. So this is thalamus, and at the back of the thalamus there are two structures, two nuclei, which are called as medial geniculate body and lateral geniculate body. From the lateral geniculate body, some fibers arise which together form the auditory radiation. These fibers form auditory radiation and they pass behind the lentiform nucleus. So these fibers are called as retrolentiform part of the internal capsule. So they are also considered, some fibers, they are considered part of internal capsule. Similarly, from the medial geniculate body, some fibers arise which go deep to the lentiform nucleus and they form optic radiation. So this part is called as the sublentiform part. That means this part goes deep to the lentiform nucleus. This is called as sublentiform part of the internal capsule. So there are 5 parts: the anterior limb, posterior limb, genu, retrolentiform part and sublentiform part. Oh sorry, this retrolentiform part is the optic radiation and sublentiform part is the auditory radiation. So there are 5 parts: anterior limb, posterior limb, genu, sublentiform part which is part of auditory radiation, and retrolentiform part which is a part of optic radiation. So in total there are 5 parts. These are the parts of internal capsule. Now let us try to understand the fibers which pass through the internal capsule. So as we can understand, this internal capsule, it is the collection of fibers which are present between caudate nucleus, thalamus and lentiform nucleus. So different types of fibers can pass through this region. So these fibers can be ascending fibers or descending fibers. So ascending fibers are sensory and descending fibers are motor. So let me draw the internal capsule first. So these are the 5 parts of the internal capsule. Now on the left side I'll be showing you the sensory or the ascending fibers which pass through internal capsule, and on the right side we'll be discussing the motor or the descending fibers passing through internal capsule. So starting with sensory or ascending fibers, these fibers are basically thalamocortical fibers. It means most of the fibers, they emerge from thalamus and go to the cerebral cortex. So they are thalamocortical fibers. Now if we take a look at thalamocortical fibers, so for that let us draw a separate diagram here. So this is a rough diagram of the cerebral hemisphere, and this is the location of thalamus. The fibers which emerge from thalamus and go to the cortex, some fibers go to the cortex anteriorly, some fibers go to the cortex superiorly, similarly some fibers go posteriorly and some inferiorly. Now anteriorly, the fibers are known as anterior thalamic radiation. Similarly, we have superior thalamic radiation, posterior thalamic radiation and inferior thalamic radiation. So as we can understand, in anterior thalamic radiation, these are fibers from thalamus to cortex anteriorly. This anterior thalamic radiation, the fibers of this radiation, they pass through this anterior limb of the internal capsule. So this part in red color shows the location of the ascending fibers which are part of anterior thalamic radiation. Now the fibers of superior thalamic radiation, they pass all along the genu and the posterior limb. So these fibers in the genu and the posterior limb, these are the fibers of superior thalamic radiation. Now As we can see, the posterior thalamic radiation, these fibers go to the occipital lobe. That means they form the optic radiation. So these fibers, they are apart. They pass through the retrolentiform part of the internal capsule, and inferior thalamic radiations which go to the temporal lobe, it means they are associated with auditory radiation, so they pass through the sublentiform part of the internal capsule. So these are different ascending fibers: anterior thalamic radiation, superior thalamic radiation, inferior thalamic radiation, and posterior thalamic radiation. These are ascending fibers passing through internal capsule. Now, motor or descending fibers, they are basically corticopontine fibers. It means they start from the cerebral cortex and go to the pons. So in the path they pass through the internal capsule. So the fibers which are present in the ascending limb, these descending fibers, they start from the frontal lobe of the cortex to pons, and thus they are known as frontopontine fibers. So they are frontopontine fibers. The fibers present in the genu, these fibers, these descending fibers, they also start from cortex, but they go to the spinal cord. So they are known as corticonuclear fibers. Corticonuclear fibers. And the fibers in the posterior limb, they start from cortex and go to the spinal cord. These are called as corticospinal fibers. Corticospinal fibers. So there are three different groups of corticospinal fibers. The upper group is for head and neck. It's for head and neck. The middle group is for upper limb and thorax, and the lowermost group, it is for lower limb. So these are corticospinal fibers. Other than these fibers, corticopontine fibers, there are some other fibers such as fibers of the corticorubral fibers, corticoreticular fibers. So we can understand that they start from cortex and go to the lower structures of the brain or brainstem. So these are different descending fibers in the internal capsule. Uh, Let us discuss the blood supply of the internal capsule. For that, let me draw this diagram of the internal capsule showing anterior limb, genu, posterior limb, the retrolentiform part, and the sublentiform part of internal capsule. So this is anterior limb, genu, this is posterior limb, this is the retrolentiform part, and this here is the sublentiform part of internal capsule. Now, uh, the blood supply of internal capsule, so different parts are supplied by different branches. So let us start from the very basics. This is the basilar artery which gives to posterior cerebral arteries. These are the two internal carotid arteries, and they are connected to posterior cerebral arteries by posterior communicating branches, and these carotids give anterior cerebral arteries which are connected by anterior communicating artery. These arteries are the middle cerebral arteries. So, and this is the anterior choroidal artery, this is the posterior choroidal artery. So this is the diagram of circle of Willis. Okay, circle of Willis. Now let us go through these arteries again. Let's name them. This is the basilar artery, and these two branches, they are the posterior cerebral arteries. So this posterior cerebral artery, this is the posterior communicating artery, this is the internal carotid artery, this is the middle cerebral artery, branch of internal carotid artery. This is the anterior communicating artery which connects to anterior cerebral arteries. And this artery here is the anterior choroidal artery, which is a branch of internal carotid artery. And this artery is the posterior choroidal artery, which is a branch of posterior cerebral artery. Now, this anterior cerebral artery gives a branch which is the recurrent branch of anterior cerebral artery. It's called as Hebner's artery. It's called as Hebner's artery. Okay. Now let us start with the blood supply of the anterior limb of internal capsule. Anterior limb is supplied by a branch of Hebner's artery and a direct branch from the anterior cerebral artery. So this artery is anterior cerebral artery. A direct branch from anterior cerebral artery also supplies the anterior limb. So anterior limb is supplied by two branches. One is a branch of Hebner's artery and other is a direct branch from the anterior cerebral artery. Now genu, this genu is supplied by a branch of by a branch from internal carotid artery, and another branch from the posterior communicating artery. So it is supplied by a branch of internal carotid artery and another branch from the posterior communicating artery. Now posterior limb is supplied. So posterior limb is supplied by a branch from anterior choroidal artery. Now, middle cerebral artery, it has two branches. These are called as striate branches. So, lateral striate artery and medial striate artery. These are two branches of middle cerebral artery. And the branches from these two arteries, they also supply the posterior limb. So, a branch from the lateral striate artery. So it is posterior limb is supplied by a branch from lateral striate artery, branch of medial striate artery, and a branch of the posterior communicating artery. Sorry, a branch of anterior choroidal artery. So there are three branches, and the branch of lateral striate artery, it is called as the Charcot's artery of cerebral hemorrhage. So Charcot's artery of cerebral hemorrhage is the branch of the lateral striate artery which supplies posterior limb of the internal capsule. Now the retrolentiform part of internal capsule is supplied by direct branch of the posterior cerebral artery and a branch from anterior choroidal artery. Posterior cerebral artery and anterior choroidal artery. Sublentiform part is supplied. Sublentiform part, this is supplied by a branch from the anterior choroidal artery. So again a branch from anterior choroidal artery and another branch from the posterior communicating artery. So sublentiform part is supplied by a branch from anterior choroidal artery and another branch from posterior communicating artery. So this is the blood supply of internal capsule.